In the quaint town of Eldridge, nestled between whispering forests and misty hills, the local school was abuzz with excitement for the annual excursion. This year, the destination was the legendary Blackwood Manor, a place shrouded in mystery and tales of the supernatural. As the bus carrying the students wound its way through the dense forest, an unsettling silence fell over the group. The jovial chatter was replaced by nervous glances as the trees seemed to close in around them. "Remember, stick to the path," Mr. Dalton, the history teacher, reminded them as they disembarked. "Legends speak of those who wander off only to be lost in time and space." The manor loomed ahead, its Gothic spires piercing the gray sky. The students explored its ancient halls, unaware that their presence had awakened something dark within the walls. As dusk approached, they gathered to leave. But Ellie, a curious soul with a penchant for adventure, was nowhere to be found. A search party ventured into the woods, calling her name, but the forest swallowed their voices. Hours turned into days, and Ellie remained missing. The town mourned, and life slowly returned to normal, but the forest seemed to whisper her name with the wind. A year passed, and a new group of students arrived at Blackwood Manor. As they explored, they stumbled upon an old path, overgrown and forgotten. Compelled by an unknown force, they followed it deeper into the woods. There, in a clearing, stood Ellie, unchanged by time, her eyes hollow. She spoke in a voice not her own. "The forest never forgets, and now neither will you." One by one, the students vanished, claimed by the woods, leaving only a tale of the forgotten road and the souls it keeps. As the legend of the forgotten road spread, the town of Eldridge became a place of eerie silence. The forest's edge, once teeming with the laughter of children, now stood as a somber reminder of the lost. Years went by, and the tale of Blackwood Manor and its cursed woods became a chilling bedtime story, a warning to all who dared to stray from the path. But the truth of the forest was far more sinister than any story could capture. Deep within its heart, where light dared not tread, the spirits of the lost wandered. Ellie, now the guardian of the forest's secrets, watched over them. Her once vibrant spirit was now a mere echo, bound to the whispers of the trees. The manor, abandoned and feared, kept its watch over the forest. Its walls, imbued with the sorrow of the lost souls, stood defiant against the passage of time. And so, the forgotten road waited, its hunger never satiated, always yearning for the next curious soul to claim. The forest, a timeless sentinel, held its breath, knowing that the cycle of the forgotten would begin anew with the turn of the seasons or the arrival of another unsuspecting visitor. The story of the forgotten road is a cautionary tale, a reminder that some places are best left unexplored and some secrets are best left untold. The tale of the forgotten road remained a haunting presence in Eldridge. The forest's edge, once a boundary between the known and the unknown, became a threshold over which few dared to cross. But the allure of the untold secrets of Blackwood Manor and its spectral woods was irresistible to some. Among them was Alex, a young filmmaker with a fascination for the macabre. Armed with a camera and a desire to uncover the truth, Alex set out to document the eerie phenomena surrounding the manor. and its woods. Alex ventured into the forest. The air grew thick with an ancient silence. The path, barely visible beneath the overgrowth, seemed to pulse with a life of its own. The deeper Alex went, the more the forest seemed to change before his eyes, the trees warping into twisted shapes, the shadows dancing with ghostly figures. In the heart of the woods, Alex found the clearing where Ellie and the others had been claimed. The ground was scorched, as if by an otherworldly fire, and in the center stood a stone altar, its surface etched with runes that glowed with a faint, unnatural light. The camera's lens captured it all, the haunting beauty and the palpable dread. But as night fell, the forest awakened. Whispers filled the air, each one a story of sorrow and loss, and Alex realized the truth. The forest was alive, a sentient being feeding on the tales of those it ensnared. The last footage on Alex's camera showed a figure approaching the altar, the glow of the runes reflected in wide, terrified eyes. Then, static. The camera was found on the outskirts of the forest, the footage a chilling testament to the forgotten road's insatiable hunger. Alex was never seen again, becoming another chapter in the forest's endless story. And so, the legend persists, a warning to all. Some mysteries are best left alone, for the forgotten road is always waiting, eager to write its next tale with the lives of the curious. The legend of the forgotten road and Blackwood Manor became an enigma that entwined itself with the very identity of Eldridge. The forest, once a symbol of nature's untouched beauty, now stood as a monument to the unknown, its whispers carried on the wind to the far corners of the world. In time, the story attracted the attention of three intrepid paranormal investigators, known for their popular online series, Echoes of the Unseen. They arrived in Eldridge with equipment to capture evidence of the supernatural, determined to unravel the mystery of the forest and the manor. They set up their base camp at the edge of the woods. The trio felt the weight of countless eyes upon them. The forest was watching, waiting, its anticipation palpable in the air. The first night, their cameras and sensors picked up inexplicable anomalies, shapes moving in the darkness, cold spots in the summer air, and a lullaby that seemed to come from the trees themselves, a haunting melody that spoke of sorrow and longing. On the second night, they ventured to the stone altar. The runes, now familiar from Alex's footage, seemed to pulse with a deeper intensity. The investigators began their ritual, a plea to the spirits for communication. The forest responded. A vortex of wind encircled them, and the air filled with voices, each one a fragment of a story from the lost souls. The investigators listened, recording every sound, every whisper. But as they did, the forest grew restless, the ground beneath them trembling with the force of untold power. The cameras captured a blinding light, and then silence. When the investigators were found the next morning, they were different. Their eyes held a depth that was not there before. Their voices echoed with a timbre that seemed to resonate with the forest itself. They spoke of the lost, of Ellie, of Alex, and of the countless others, their stories now part of the eternal chorus of the woods. The footage from their investigation was released, and it became a sensation, drawing even more curious souls to Eldridge. But the forest's appetite was insatiable, And with each new visitor, the legend grew, a cycle of curiosity and consequence that spiraled into infinity. The forgotten road remains, a path of no return, a siren call to those who seek the thrill of the unknown. And Blackwood Manor watches over it all, a silent custodian of the boundary between our world and the realm of shadows. The story of the forgotten road and Blackwood Manor has reached its natural conclusion. However, the beauty of such tales is that they can always be revisited and expanded upon with new characters, settings, and eerie happenings. If you wish to continue the story further, it could evolve with new twists or perhaps a different perspective, exploring the origins of the manor or the forest's ancient past. The possibilities are endless, and each new chapter can add depth and intrigue to the haunting legend that captivates your audience.